Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through some plants that are in flower, and I'm also going to be providing an update on a recent order that I had from Orquivalle, which is a Colombian company. I also have a special announcement to make. I'm officially launching a Discord server. My hope is that this will build an online community and also help connect Pleurothallid growers from around the world. And accordingly, it is called the Pleurothallid Plaza. So check it out in the link in the description below, and let's get on with this video. Let's start with this one. This is Pleurothallis inornata. And it has this typical kind of blooming scheme where the flower sits at the edge of the leaf. Let me zoom in for you. So this one has a very nice kind of deep golden yellow with a different colored lip. So one cool thing about this species that I particularly enjoy is that it's actually fragrant, and in a pleasant manner. If you grow a lot of Pleurothallids, a lot of these things are fly pollinated, so they tend to stink. But this one, for some reason, has a kind of pleasant floral smell. And so, yeah, I really enjoy that. Also, another thing I find really fun about this flower is it kind of looks like, let's see if I can focus it. Let me know if you also think it looks like it's someone with their arms up, getting arrested or something. Just, and here's a little crowd of them. Like, with their arms up. I don't know, just something I think is pretty cute about this species. I'm going to try to organize this video by genus, so we'll go with another Pleurothallis species. So I can show this in the whole frame. This is Pleurothallis phyllocardiodes, named after heart-shaped leaves. And again, see, it's like typical Pleurothallis manner of blooming from this kind of center of the leaf. This one's not as exciting of a bloom. I think for me, this particular plant has more exciting leaves. See here, it's like kind of a purplish red color. Actually, that's probably not the best example. Oh, here's a better one. You see, it's like very, very classic, Pleurothallis look. I guess is the best I can describe it. But yeah, this species in particular, I would say the leaves are really satisfying because they're very succulent. And see this one? It's like a nice little heart. They're very pretty. And so, yeah, this is Pleurothallis phyllocardiodes. So this one used to be Pleurothallis, but I believe it is now Stelis. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is Stelis cypripediodes, named after the cypripedium or cypripedioide sort of group of slipper orchids, basically. But you can see here, I think I've showed it before on this channel. What I really like about these is how fuzzy they are. Look how hairy that is. And they kind of look like those plants from Mario. Yeah, these have pendant inflorescences, so they hang down like this from the plant. And for whatever reason, when it gets to this kind of stage, it's very, very satisfying to kind of like run your hands through it. It's kind of like a sensory thing. I don't know if anyone else grow this plant and also do that. It just feels very funny, like a bunch of little balls, slowly rubbing across your hand. I'm gonna regret saying that, but I'm gonna stick with it. But anyways, Stelis cypripediodes, really cool plant that is in bloom for a long time. You can see this inflorescence here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and still going. So yeah, it's a cool one to have. This little guy also used to be Pleurothallis. It used to be Pleurothallis rubella, but it is now Platystele aurea. This is also another one of those successive blooming plants. Oop, how do I zoom in? This is zoom in. Okay. And here, look at the flower. Oop. That's not a good one here. Looks like it's trying to give you a hug. I think I've said that before in a previous video. But yeah, these have very, very small blooms. But the benefit of that is, if you put it really close to your face, you really appreciate the detail a lot better than whatever I can provide here with this camera. But it seems to be pretty easy to grow. This is in a net pot with some moss. This moss is like kind of dry right now, but I'm not gonna water it. It's not crispy yet. You can't hear it, but so yeah, pretty easy to grow. And it's, it hasn't stopped blooming since it started blooming, so it's a pretty rewarding species in that aspect. So this is Platystele aurea, or Pleurothallis rubella. I'm sticking with the used to be called Pleurothallis. I guess this is the last one. It used to be Pleurothallis. It is now Anathallis pachyphyta. You can see here pretty satisfying foliage, pretty succulent leaves. So it's fun to touch, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And this has really small flowers as well. You can see here, and they kind of bloom low. They hold low on the plant, so they don't come up here. They're kind of pendant. I don't know if this would necessarily be considered pendant because it doesn't hang down. But here, let me zoom in on this flower for you. It's got an awesome little flower. It's kind of this yellow-orange color with the sepals, and then the petals are this like dark brownish black color. I really like the color contrast on these. And I also just generally like the shape of these, kind of like star-shaped kind of things. Anyways, yeah, this is Anathallis pachyphyta. Really easy plant to grow. The time for the main event, as you may call it. My prized collection of little Lepanthes. Don't tell the other Pleurothallids, but these are my favorite. So we'll start with this one here. This is Pleurothallid niesseniae. I did a video where I actually pollinated one of these. If you find that, it's not this plant though, as a viewer pointed out in the comments that the pollination probably won't work because they're not super self-compatible. And so I went out and got another individual. This is from Ecugenera, and this actually bloomed I guess a month-ish ago, and I pollinated the other one I had from the previous video with this one, and so there's a seed capsule developing. But anyways, I really like this species because of how big the flower is. I tend to like Lepanthes for their intricate petals. This one has really large sepals, and the petals kind of look like double horns there in the middle, those two green structures there. But yeah, I also like these ones too. I guess I just like the genus in general. But yeah, this is Lepanthes niesseniae. Strap in, because we're going to be here for a while with these Lepanthes. This one, if you recall my unboxing video from Tarzan, is Lepanthes calodictyon. And if you grow Lepanthes, you probably know the species because it's so popular. And I mean, look at those leaves. There's a reason this is so popular. It just has amazing foliage. The flowers are kind of nice too. They're like this dark red color, and they kind of look like little flies. Here's a better shot. But it's the leaves on this one that really shine. And this is probably one of the easiest Lepanthes to grow, I think, because it tolerates really wide range of temperatures. It can take warmer temperatures than a lot of different Lepanthes species, and it likes to be wet. I guess that's the only thing. So yeah, Lepanthes calodictyon. It's put on like 5 or 6 new leaves since I got it, and there's a new one here, and there's some new growth here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, really fast growing species. Really awesome little plant. Okay, this one doesn't bloom too well for me, and you can see by the color of the foliage, kind of yellowing leaves here. It's maybe not the most healthy, but for what it's worth, it's in bloom right now. And this is Lepanthes escobariana. It's kind of an off yellow with some kind of burgundy center. Let me zoom in. But this is a nice one in that it's also kind of big, so it's not easy to miss when it's in flower. You can see there the shape is kind of very open. And this one also, like almost every Lepanthes, is just successive bloomer, so one after the other, so it is constantly in bloom despite the condition of the plant. Yeah, Lepanthes escobariana. If you're watching the wall behind me, I'm not doing this in any particular order, so in case you're curious. This next one is Lepanthes ribes, and it's one of those kind of cool ones that make these I guess like balloon-esque flowers. What I like about ribes is the petals inside kind of look like double horns, so let me see if I can zoom in here for you. See, this one's got bright green ones. Seems like there's quite a bit of variety at least in the ones I've bloomed out so far, because I got these from a flask. This one has green petals. I have one down here that when it blooms it's a little bit darker, kind of like the green look with this kind of pale yellow background. But I don't know if you can notice, actually you can, all the flowers face towards the plant, and so to really appreciate it you gotta flip it around, flip it around to look at it. Obviously that's what I did. Okay. But again, these last pretty long, several weeks, maybe even a month, honestly. Some of these flowers are pretty old. And again, always in bloom. That's the great thing about this genus. Yeah, this is Lepanthes ribes. So if you follow me on Instagram, I made a post about this one. This is Lepanthes eros. And in my post, basically what I said was, I did not anticipate how small this flower is going to be. I can't tell if you can see it or not yet, but I'm going to zoom in as far as I can, and then I'll point at it with the tip of this pencil. I will point at it with these very fine-tipped tweezers I have, will basically for you to understand how small this flower is. I think it's the smallest species that I have. Anyways, here we go. You can see it right there. Now, I guess I'll try and zoom in to the camera as far as I can. That'll let me... Okay, that's actually better than I was anticipating. But anyways, here is the tip of the tweezer. Oh! Okay, that's not focusing. There we go. So tiny! But you can see from this inflorescence here, it just blooms one after the other, and basically goes forever. So I really like this plant. It's been growing really well for me, and also a ton of new leaves. This is Lepanthes eros. This one is Lepanthes teretipetala. It's got a cute little flower. It's yellow and has red petals that are kind of like little skinny things. There you Let me focus it. There we go. This one is again another one of those successive bloomers, so just one after the other. Blooms so basically it's always in bloom. That's a good thing. Fortunately for this specific plant though, as I've said in some of my import videos and growing videos, I've had it for a couple months and it's bloomed for me, but I have yet to see new growth, so I'm a little bit worried about that. We'll see in the coming months how it does, but at least these older leaves aren't showing any signs of fading, and so I'm hoping that this plant is gonna survive for me. This is Lepanthes teretipetala. I showed this one in a previous video, Lepanthes uxoria, but it's so awesome. I gotta show it off again. Underside leaf bloomer, and purple underside of the leaf, but this flower is just so cute. I love the dark kind of magenta color in the middle and the bright yellow petals. Very awesome. And this plant is small. That's the other thing I like about it. It's not the smallest, but I mean, for reference, where's my pencil again? Here you go. It's like pretty small. I'd call this a mini, which is really great. So I guess flower size to leaf ratio on this one is like pretty great, even though the flower's not that big. But this is Lepanthes uxoria. But this one's also a banger. It's a really popular species. Not very easy to get one though, and so I spent quite a while sourcing one of these. This is from Tarzan, and this is Lepanthes tsubotae. And the reason everyone loves it is its humongous pink flowers. You see this? They're just so awesome. And this one's small too, even smaller than uxoria, and it has humongous flowers. So here's a pencil. Yeah, flower to leaf ratio is a pretty big determining factor, I think, for a lot of people that keep these things. But this is an awesome species. And one thing I'm noticing actually just now is that this flower is a lot smaller than the other flower. Let me see if I can point. This one is much tinier than this one. It's not the plane that it's in. It's actually like half the size. So I'm wondering, this is a pretty big division. I'm wondering if perhaps there's two plants here rather than just one. I'll have to see what these other ones bloom out as. But yeah, Lepanthes tsubotae. Very, very, very awesome little plant. Speaking of awesome little plants, here's another one that's just that. These are Lepanthes leporina, known for, as I've said before, their bunny ear petals. Let me point. Boop, right there. They look like two little bunny ears. And leporids are the scientific classification for, I think, like hares, rabbits, and bunnies, I think. I don't know. But anyways, I got two of these guys. Awesome plant. Again, like, the flowers are bigger than their leaves. So this has like awesome flower to leaf ratio. Also have a capsule here and a capsule here. So, hopefully I can get some seedlings of these things. I show this one off a lot in my updates. Personally, I can't, like, when I look at this every day, it just looks huge. Ever since it kind of clumped up. Let me know if you've seen my previous videos that have this. Let me know if this is like noticeably bigger. I'm curious because to me it feels like it's just like huge. It doesn't look huge-er per se. But this is Lepanthes myiophora. I've had this one for close to 3 years now, actually. But it has these awesome little star, or I guess they're triangle-shaped flowers. I actually got an award for this from the American Orchid Society, and so the cultivar, or clone name for this, is Imperial Shuttle, because I was from Star Wars, as I was not very creative that day. But yeah, very awesome little plant. And you can see, look at those inflorescences. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. This thing's always in bloom, and it's an awesome little thing. Got another duo here. These are Lepanthes regularis, and it's just kind of an unfortunate name because I think the flower is much more worthy of regular being the descriptor. You can see here, it's got these bright. This one is more of a pinkish red on the top and golden yellow on the bottom petals. You know, and this one, let me put this down. This one is more of a like a crimson red, and it has even like some red markings on the top sepal there. But as you can see with all the inflorescences, you know, this thing again is a successive bloomer, so it blooms over and over and over, and they just go forever. I mean, one of these has probably 20 plus flowers per inflorescence, so really awesome little guy, or I should say really awesome medium guy. These are kind of on the larger end, I'd say, for miniatures. But anyways, Lepanthes regularis. This is another one I show quite a bit, mostly because I think it's quite rare, and it's quite a unique kind of flower, I guess. This is Lepanthes declivis, and said in previous videos, this grew as a volunteer plant on another plant that I purchased, and so I had to identify it myself once it flowered. But look at the flower here. Come on. It just has a very interesting shape to the petals and markings on it. I like the dark contrast with the green petals and then the yellow-green kind of sepals. This one looks really funky. It's another underside leaf bloomer. It's just this leaf is grown kind of weird. It's just not on the underside, but look at the back of this leaf. Isn't that crazy looking? Looks like a ladder. But this thing will just go and go and go. It has, is that 4? It has 4 inflorescences on this one leaf that's blooming. And you can see how many times it's bloomed. So, really awesome little plant. This is Lepanthes declivis. Here's another popular one, or at least I think it's popular because I really like it. And so I'm just assuming that we all kind of like the same things in the Lepanthes world. This is Lepanthes minetii. I like it because of its crazy color, and then also the petals are really kind of crazy. There's 3 projections on each petal, and the red and gold color contrast just is awesome. This is a little division, so that's why it's so small. But again, this one blooms forever, and it's pendant, and so that means the spike hangs down from the plant, as you can see here. And these last quite a while too. They take a little while to develop in my conditions. I might be growing it a little cold, but anyways, awesome little flower, Lepanthes minetii. This guy is Lepanthes veleziana, and from this angle, you might think that this doesn't have too many flowers. You know, you can see one here, one up here. But this is an underside of the leaf bloomer. So if I kind of angle it around, you can see there's a lot more inflorescences down here and a lot more flowers. You see here, there's a bunch. This one is also very similar to Lepanthes uxoria. Zoom in that it has like the magenta centered petals with the golden outside. The sepals on this one are more like a translucent yellow. But this one I've had for a little longer, and so that's why it has, you know, a lot more leaves on it. I'm also not sure if uxoria gets this big, but this one is quite big. Here, let me pencil. Here's the plant. So yeah, quite big. But I really like this one. Leaves aren't looking too great for me right now, but a lot of the new growth looks really good. I think for a period of time I had it like quite overwatered, and so yeah. Lepanthes veleziana. Okay, this one is Lepanthes zamorensis. See if you can see that flower there. Kind of similar to minetii color-wise, actually like almost identical. But this plant, as you can tell, is much larger. And the flower shape is different, but very similar in a lot of ways to minetii. I really like this one, and I have two of them. Hopefully to try and breed them as well. But yeah, this is Lepanthes zamorensis. As you can see, yeah, the plant's pretty big. Here's a pencil. This is my reference pencil. Yeah. Okay, last one before go into my Columbian order update, and I'll pan around the camera with that so we don't have to like bring it up. This is Lepanthes dactylopetala. Let me put this up. It's come on. It's got very interesting shaped petals. That's what I like about it. They're bright red, with a yellowish hue flower. The leaves on this are also fantastic. You see there's like kind of some red striations and reticulations along the leaf. And so it's a really nice one to keep. The Lepanthes dactylopetala. Okay, so I'm freehanding this now, so pardon any kind of shakiness. Oh, okay. Maybe shouldn't have started with this one. Start on a bad note. This is Lepanthes elegantula. And you can see here it has one little lonely leaf left. But that happens with imports, you know. The plant goes through a lot. Has to go through customs, has to go through shipping into the country, and then shipping to you. And so this leaf is still pretty turgid, but I don't have too much hope for this one. Unfortunately. This one I have a little bit more hopes for. I'm actually not too familiar with all the names yet. This one is pastoensis, Lepanthes pastoensis. And so, similar to the elegantula, I was worried about this guy because it lost a lot of leaves. It had quite a few more leaves. And the leaves that are still here are kind of desiccated looking. But if you'll notice, and this is the thing I'm always looking for when I import things. See all this new growth? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new leaves coming up. And so I'm not worried about this plant anymore. Because I see all that growth. Similar fashion, this is Lepanthes flora. And this bright green leaf right in the center, that's a new leaf that has grown since I got it. And then there's also some new stuff happening there. So very happy with this little guy. Hopefully it'll bloom soon. You can see this is blooming. This plant has bloomed on this tiny little leaf. And so it can bloom on this size of a leaf. You see there's a nice root tip there. But anyways, that one's doing good. Down here, this is Lepanthes trachea. And again, there's a lot of bright green leaves. Those are all new. So like this one here, that's new. That's new. That's also new. So it's growing pretty well. And I just realized I missed this in talking about flowers. This is also Lepanthes trachea. I did post a picture of this on my Instagram if you want to check that out. It's a lot better quality, but another awesome one with kind of bright colors. And a great contrast between the reds and the yellow hues. Okay, let's see. Something more. Okay, down here. This is Lepanthes quadricornis. And again, you know, I think I'm maybe a month or less than a month in to receiving this order. And what I'm looking for are new growths. And so this plant here there's a new leaf right here. This is also a new leaf. And then over here, that's a new leaf. And so I'm like pretty confident this plant will not die on me now due to import stress. Cultural stress is another thing. But yeah, same with this one here. This is also quadricornis. You can see this new leaf here, here, and here. So I'm confident that these plants are going to survive. Another one, I was really shaken up by this one because the leaves did not look great when they came. These are the old leaves. However, it made this beautiful new leaf here and a bunch of new little growths. So this is another Lepanthes niesseniae, this nice little orange flower here that we saw earlier. Pause for a second and pan over somewhere else. Here's a Lepanthes jubata, and dead center right there is a new growth. Let me zoom in. Oh, okay. You can see there, new leaf. I was a little worried about this one because again, you can see here's a dead leaf, here's a dead leaf. But yeah, good thing there's a new leaf there. And then this one, Lepanthes cymbium. I mean, it hasn't lost its leaves yet, but I still am yet to see a new leaf coming out of here. However, there is a new root. You can see that little dull thing right there. That's a root tip, I think. Or is that a leaf? Anyways, it's something new. So it is growing. Again, in these first months, I don't care about flowers. I just want these things to survive. On the notion, though, of I don't care about flowers, I also don't mind if it does flower, if it's also growing for me. And so here's a Lepanthes rutrum. You can see here there's a nice little flower. I will say, the camera is not picking it up, but in reality, this thing is like a dark, like almost like blood red. And so, yeah, the camera's not really picking it up, but this is a really awesome little species that I haven't seen before. Again, these guys are all... Okay, so you can see here the Orquivalle tags. Here's a manabina. Okay, I don't want to rip off this leaf. I'm doing this with one hand. Okay, here we go. Manabina. There's a new leaf there, young little leaf. And I think there's a second one somewhere in here as well. But you get the point, it's settling in. This manabina is sadly very dead. I'm just leaving it here to see if it can if there's some roots or something alive underneath. That might make it back up. Here is a big one. This is Lepanthes uribii. And again, see all this new growth? This is what I look for. I don't care about flowers for the first bit. Flowers are nice. I'm really focused on survival of the plant in the first bit. Here's another one. This is discolor and nothing too visible yet, but the leaves are still okay. So not in the danger zone of worrying yet. Anyways, that'll wrap up this video. I hope it wasn't too long-winded for you. Thank you so much for watching if you've made it to the end. I want to remind you of the Discord server that I made. To please join that if you're interested in connecting with other Pleurothallid growers from around the world. Link is in the description. As always, thank you so much for the support. Thank you for watching my videos, interacting with me in the comments. Really appreciate all of that. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.